Hello, gentlemen. Hope everybody is doing well. I wanted today to make a little quick video about something. I was watching Angry Mgtow make his recent video about gender segregation, and I wanted to comment on a very important thing. I just kind of realized that might be a little bit more of a controversial subject, but whatever. I'm in the business in this YouTube channel of controversial subjects, so why does that even matter? I think that leadership is is a problem that kind of is a fault is a well, I'm trying to figure out the right word to put it. Whenever you have a leader in place, somebody that is designed to lead the pack, um, I feel that that's a very problematic thing to do, because whenever you have somebody in charge of everybody else, whether it be a boss or a CEO or somebody in a leadership position that is over other people, it's problematic because what ends up happening is that some people feel that they feel less than, and they feel people are very self-conscious. You see, people hate to be told the truth, and so whenever truth comes near anybody, it's like a repellent. They just people that aren't ready for it aren't ready for it. So when you start talking about having a leader, some people will feel obligated to think that they feel less than, they're not good enough, and then they'll start trying to compete with other people so that the leader can, give them social brownie points, and then you just have this dog eat dog, cutthroat, vicious race to the top to be the slave dog to the master. And I don't see how that is going to work. And what I've noticed is that, there was this TV show, Angry Mgtow was talking about it. It was basically this thing where it was a TV show, and they had women walk up on this island, and it was a survival show. So basically they had all these group of women go, and they just go, okay, go survive. And then they had a bunch of guys, and basically what happened was the women just they walked in circles for 5 days, literally for 5 days, and some of them they sat there and did nothing and cried and all this other bullshit. And the guys made like an extravagant campsite and set up. And one thing that he mentioned that really caught my attention was the fact that he said that there wasn't anybody that says, I'm going to be in charge of this operation because I have this and this and this. Everybody just did their own thing. Like he mentioned that one guy just got tired of sitting, so he made benches to sit on, and now they had a bench and a table, and everybody just did their own thing. Everybody went and they did what they felt they could do, and then they came together to make it all work. And I think that's really important, especially in today. Today it seems like we always have to have leaders for everything. And I find that there's always problems to happen with that. I think it's better to just allow people to do what they want, under, I guess, a certain set of boundaries, and then everybody just go do what they want and, chip into the pot. And it's much better off that way, because whenever you also have leaders, most people will go and blame the leader because they feel like they should be in charge of something, which just throws the whole balance. People eventually just start using that as a scapegoat to blame everybody. So I look at leadership very differently than most people, because I've been in positions working in business where there was more than one leader. There was two leaders, and this is a lesson in business. Never, ever, ever, ever get into business with somebody and they want to be your co-owner. If you're gonna run your show, run your show. Because what I found out is that when you have leaders and people that are in power, it's different in a business case. If you're the CEO, there is a place for that kind of leadership hierarchy. But whenever you allow other people to join in, especially in leadership positions, just so that they can have equal say, it's a disaster waiting to happen. And basically what happened was, with this specific group of people, one person wanted to have all the say over everything. Well, what happens when you disagree? It's like, oh, we'll just work it out. I'm like, that's not how it works. Because if the CEO is in charge of being the spokesperson for a company, and you have one other guy that's just wants to be the same position just because. I mean, how do you think who's gonna make the decisions? And so it's always, that's just a little thing I learned. But leadership, I look at very differently. I think that leadership is in many cases, especially depending on the situation, if survival case too, shit hitting the fan, SHTF. Leadership is, it's kind of destined to fail in a way, because each and every single person is going to be in a different frame of mind, different skill sets. And especially when in a situation like that, or in many situations, when you have somebody just say, I'm going to do everything, then they're just the big boss, and they get to boss everybody around. People start thinking, who the fuck is this person? And then you start having issues of a group getting in to overthrow a leadership position, and it's a mess. So I think it's a much better, especially when it comes down to leadership, it's a much better, I think, situation to have everybody just do their own thing, and then just, everybody come together and chip in, and I think that's a much better way to deal with it, because especially in that, it just really clicked with me with that TV show that was there, and how they didn't have any leaders. They just let everybody do what they had to do, and everybody did just fine, and they had everything put together. So I think that, especially in the Mgtow community, is a lesson. Let's not have leaders. And I know that there isn't any big person that makes all the say, but there is people that have higher notoriety. And what I find is that especially in our society today, we have this giant master-slave psychology relationship that has been pumped in our heads, where somebody else has to be our savior. We can't take care of ourselves, and it's just laziness is what it is. It's laziness, and it's part of brainwashing, and it's all these different things. But if you learn how to take care of yourself, let other people do their thing. If they want to talk about whatever they want to talk about, let them talk about it, and stop butting into everybody's business. Okay? Because that ends up getting people in a lot of trouble. I've found out many times. And that's what women do. Women butt into everything. Go, don't do this, don't do that. It's like, I thought we can't, I thought that, one of the most, I guess, a very important thing I learned about is don't let people tell you what to fucking do like women do. Because then you're just dealing with a bunch of women. But anyways, I don't put too much faith in online communities anyway, because, there's this constant need to dominate and be the best and have all the views. And like I said, leadership, when you start having people that are really just there to be better than everybody, and not everybody just keep their own shit in line, then the whole track's going to be derailed. So I just wanted to add out there something for you guys to think about. I think that people are much better off just being in their element, letting them do what they got to do, because number one, it provides self-responsibility for yourself. And if you got your shit together and the other guy's got his shit together, then you're going to get everything done fine. But if you have to have somebody looking over everybody and have that kind of mentality because people don't have their shit together, you're going to find yourself in a very problematic situation waiting to go wrong, I think, in many cases. So anyways, thanks for listening, and I hope everybody has a good one.